So for Diabetes Awareness Month, we wanted to show all of you who are curious what it's like for Gemma to do an insulin pump site change. Now Gemma has an Omnipod and it is wireless and it is super cool. Let's show them, Gemma. Which arm is it on? So this is her Omnipod. This is what gives her insulin. And this is called her PDM, and that's what we use to give the calculations and the carb counts, and it talks to her pump and gives her the right amount of insulin. So right now we are going to change her pump, her pod. So we go to our little more actions. And right now we're going to go to change pod. We're going to hit confirm, and this is going to beep. And now the pod's deactivated. So now we have to use this, it's called Unisolve, it's sticky stuff remover. And we put it all over the pod. And it helps get all the stickiness off. We change these every 3 days for Gemma. And if you don't leave this stuff, use this stuff, it leaves gross sticky rings on her. So we're gonna use this, and then we're gonna let it sit there for a few minutes while we do our next step.
Hey Mom, I have to get...
So the next step, what we do, where's the insulin at? Did we leave that in the fridge?
Yeah.
Okay. Say hi, Gemma.
Hi. I'm her brother, Tyler. And as you can tell, you can tell it detaches because it turns like a little pale color.
Next up, we have a vial of insulin. This is Humalog, what Gemma uses. They also have Novolog. And it wants to know if we want to activate a pod, and we do. So we use lots of alcohol wipes here, and we clean the top. We take off our needle, or our lid, and then first we draw this back. We have to push some air into the vial of insulin, kind of creates a suction vacuum, and then we draw it back. Now she doesn't use too much insulin because she's young. Just about 80 units is about what she goes through in 3 days. We gotta get the air bubbles out. They don't want to come out. There. So now that we have it full, we take the needle and we're going to put it right in here. This is the back side of her pod. And we go real slow. We fill the reservoir with her insulin. And this will last her for 3 days. And then we hit next. And now we have to keep these close because they're talking to each other. It's priming the pump. And then this goes into a sharps container. It doesn't go in the trash. But this part we can put in the trash. So now Gemma's going to stand up for a minute. Can you see her, Daddy?
Mm-hmm.
We are going to clean. She's got several spots where we can put this on her. Arms, her lower back, her upper booty, her hips, or her belly. Today we're going to put it on her lower back. She likes it there because it doesn't get in the way. So we're going to clean it with some alcohol wipes while that's priming. Hold that up there, Gems.
It just goes.
And we use more stuff. This is stuff that helps make it stick better. You ready for this? And we paint it on.
Beep, beep.
Because it's fun.
Beep, beep.
And it stays there and she has to hold it there for a few minutes. So next, we just keep going with our instructions. We pull this off. Pop. We hit next. And while that's waiting to dry, it's got to air out some. We're going to pull her pod off. And since we use the adhesive remover, it comes off fairly easy. Put that over to the side, and we'll use this again, some of our Unisol to clean the area up a little more. Make sure there's no goo on it. But you can kind of see, I don't know if you can zoom in enough, but you can see where the cannula went in. There's a red dot. You can kind of see the outline of the pod. So is this sticky? Is it getting sticky yet? Nope, it's still wet. So the next step, woo, your long hair's getting it. We peel this back. And this is super sticky and you don't want it to fold over on itself or else you kind of ruin the adhesion of it. And then right in here, this is where a needle will shoot out and it will go into her skin. And with that needle, a little tiny straw or a cannula comes out with it. And the needle retracts back into the pod and the cannula stays into her skin. And that, it's flexible and that's what stays in her for 3 days. Oh yeah, we can show them that, Tyler.
Okay, so this is what the old one looks like. This is what goes into her, I think.
You can see the little plastic straw or the cannula. Okay, this is ready to go. Gemma, you're doing a great job. So we're gonna stick this on here. Whoop. And then we flatten it down some. And then I push. And it's almost done. The last step Gemma does, turn around Gemma, show your fans how you hit start. And then you'll see her jerk when the cannula goes in. Wait for it. There it went. So now we just have to check to make sure we can see the cannula. There's a little window. Yep, we can see it. And she is good to go, right? Right?
Yeah.
So thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, let us know. This is awesome technology and we are super grateful for it. Bye.
Bye.